Oh, what is our Skype machine ringing?
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, punch it up.
Oh, it's 6:30.
Hold, please, on the story because joining us momentarily on the Skype machine, if everything works out here, Mikey.
I like the way this is like live, guys. This is like
100%
breaking
live.
news. Breaking news.
If-
we have
If
I can hear it, but I can't see him.
Jim Florentine, can you hear me? Can he hear me? I hear him.
We hear you, Jim.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, JF, we can't see you.
We can't see you.
Hit your video.
I feel like you're not that handsome anyway, so we probably don't.
No, Jim
need
is a good-looking guy. Hit your video button on your end if you can, Jim. Come on up, Frank. We're on the air. Come on up.
We went live, Frank, prematurely. Well, no.
Okay, so momentarily we're going to get Jim Florentine to hit his video acceptance button on his Skype. In the meantime, Forrest is here. Frank Mir is making his way
Why
up
don't you tell
the
us
stairs.
who Jim Florentine is?
Jim is a noted comedian and author. Come on around behind me, Frank, because we're already on. Jim has a new book out called Everyone is Awful Except You. And he's also going to be here in Vegas. You still have me on the feed there, Jim?
Yeah, we there now?
Okay. Here, I can hear you. We can hear you, but we can't see you yet. Do you see your video? Should be like a little thing where...
I see you and I see me.
Okay, but we don't see you yet. Because I think what you have to do is give us permission. Jesus. I think what you have to do is...
Hold on, we got it.
Okay, you got
All right,
him?
I give you permission.
There he is. There he is. All right, blow him up big. Blow him up big. There's a gun being passed right in front of you there, Jim, if you saw that on the screen for a moment.
Jim, what's happening?
All right.
It's great to see you.
Let me introduce everybody.
What's going on?
Let me introduce everybody. On the big screen behind me here, that is noted comedian Jim Florentine. Jim, we have a casual relationship over the years through radio, so it's good to see you again, Jim. You may notice I'm sandwiched between a couple of UFC Hall of Famers. This is my regular podcast co-host, Frank Mir. And over here on my left, this is our buddy Forrest Griffin. And he's joining us from his Anything Goes podcast. So,
I don't think Jim can see us because
Oh, okay. Because
He can't
it's
see us.
too wide of a shot?
Yeah, look.
Jim, just assume I'm an incredibly handsome man. Just assume.
All
I'm
right.
sure you are.
There we go. Okay.
That's what
so,
my mom said.
First
my
things
mom's
first.
not a liar. Are you calling my mom a liar, Jim?
All right, let's do this. Sean, if you wouldn't mind, would you just take that camera and back it up so Jim can get the full effect? I mean, you can just
He is missing
bring it
out
on
on seeing
back
us.
so everybody can see.
I do like the beard, bro. You're looking good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also beard jealous because I can't grow one.
Neither can I. If you look, it's
No, that's
neither can
better
I.
than what I can. I don't know. My wife won't even let me try because
Oh, it's pathetic. Yeah.
I started doing like 2 years ago, and then I did a competition with Ross, a little like that exhibition
Yeah.
sparring thing. And somebody goes, "Did Frank join like Pirates of the Caribbean?" I was like, "I'm shaving it off."
Jim's dates here in Las Vegas are coming up March 30th and 31st at Topgolf. Did you know they're doing comedy over there now, Frank?
That is a very cool place, though. It's a cool venue. Jim, what do you know about Topgolf, Jim? Anything?
Nothing.
No. Well, it's cool. It's
Well, we
actually
went and saw the
it's the new hip
Blues
place
Travelers.
to
Blues
be.
Travelers there.
There you
So
go.
let me paint this picture for you, Jim, because I know you've done comedy in interesting places, and we'll get your reaction to this. It's a very high-end place. It's right next to the MGM Grand. People pay a lot of money to go over there and drive golf balls like on a multi-level driving range type thing. Big video screens, all this kind of stuff. You'll be on a comedy stage. Just try to time your punchlines with when you hear the whack of the golf ball. There's that slight wrinkle.
Yeah, we've had that before as comics. You know, sometimes we used to play in like sports bars where they wouldn't turn the playoffs on, like the hockey playoffs or something like that. And like, no, we can't turn the Florida game off. You got, people start booing. So you're trying to tell jokes and the game's, playing on above you and people are cheering. You think they're cheering at your joke, but they just scored a goal.
Yes. Yes.
So you're like really hoping Florida wins. Better people
Exactly,
cheering
yeah.
than that. Then when you hear the boom, it's like a big tackle. When you hear the boom, it's like somebody throwing a beer bottle past your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the old Roadhouse where they're playing, you know, and then the guy they're throwing the beer
chicken
bottles.
wire and all that. Yeah. Well, you're going to have 2 nights of opportunity to see Jim here in Las Vegas, the 30th and the 31st. You can also get Jim's new book, which is called Everyone is Awful Except You. Now, Forrest, you're a best-selling author yourself, so this is turning into a real literary roundtable here. But I got to tell you, Jim, I enjoyed this book. It was judgmental and condescending and glorious. It is exactly.
I love that. That should be the quote of the book. Judgmental, condescending, and glorious.
It is what I wish I had every time somebody tried to push one of these motivational self-help
everyone
books
is
in my
pretty
hand.
awful. And, I mean, I guess I might be just advanced, Jim, but I realize that I am also equally awful.
Yeah. Well,
like literally, we know we're awful. But that Jim, makes it okay.
Except when you read the book, though, because that's the fun part about it. And I was listening to it going to and from work, which made it all the better, you know, because, you know, you're not going to have a great day in front of you. And I want to start there with the book because the Facebook material alone is fantastic. Guys, Jim dissects Facebook to just break down every horrific post that anybody ever makes, like the people who just give you all the unnecessary details about their lives, like this is breaking news on the internet, right, Jim?
Yeah, pretty much. Or, you know, the people look at either sympathy, bragging, or attention are usually the 3 main ones that they're looking for. Like the woman that posts, you know, I'm on my way to the hospital, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so then
please tell us why.
You got 75 comments. Are you okay? Oh, my God, if I lived in Vegas, I'd meet you at the emergency room.
Yep.
You know, and then after she gets enough attention, she writes at the end, oh, it's just a sore throat.
You know what, Jim? The one that I think is even worse than that is when the girl, and I'm sorry, ladies, I'm gonna this is a little misogynistic here, but I noticed the ladies doing it. I don't see the guys do it, where the girl just posts heartbroken with no context. You don't know what that's about. So she'll get a bunch of guys commenting going, are you okay? I've got your back. Just say the word.
We call that Captain Save-A-Ho.
Yeah, and everybody starts trying to fish for the context, which I would assume, Jim, in your expert analysis is exactly what she's looking for people to do, to take that bait.
Take the bait, and then all the guys are going, cool, maybe I got a shot to get in their pants now.
Yep.
So I'll leave a comment. I'll feel like I'm a good guy. Oh, I know he was a jerk anyway. You should never. You could do better than him.
Yeah.
He's trying to wear her down. Well, I know what he's doing.
Have you seen this one? Now, I don't remember this particular nuance being mentioned in the book, but this is a phenomenon I've noticed on Facebook where the girl will post the picture of herself because she thinks she looks hot. That's why she's posting it. It's a selfie. It's in the car. She thinks she's having a good hair day or whatever on the way to work. She posts it, but she doesn't want to own up to the fact that that's why she's posting it. Hey, everybody, look, I'm hot. So she'll caption it with something like, not feeling this cold weather today, LOL, as if the whole point of the photo was just to comment on the weather. And, oh, my gosh, you think I look hot in this photo? I didn't even put 2 and 2 together when I posted that picture to comment on the weather, Jim.
Yeah, or it's that, or they'll say, I had to rush out of woke up late, had to run out of the house, no makeup. Oh, well.
Yeah.
They post a picture of them. So
they do that when they first wake up.
I
woke up like this. I'm like, yeah, right. Bullshit.
I woke up like this.
You've been up for 2 hours. Yeah. That's your 30th shot.
Literally painting your face, trying the lighting. Yeah.
Or like, hey, you like my new sunglasses? I'm like, all I can see is your tits. What are you doing?
Jim, how did all that come into view? Because, I mean, you've been doing your stand-up comedy career predates Facebook, so it's not like that's what launched your career. I mean, along the way, you see this coming like a big social media tidal wave. When did you start to realize that not only was it going to be so good for material, but eventually was going to give you the text for a big portion of your book?
Well, I do a podcast every week called Comedy Mental Midgets, where I actually read people's Facebook posts. Like, fans will send them into an email address, anything I think, something that's terrible that people have posted, and I just comment on them, and that's how the book came about, through the podcast.
So just destroying other human beings.
Yeah.
Their cries.
I don't use names, but I use
their cries for attention.
Yeah.
See, here's the best part, though, Jim. The best part about you not using names is if you use names, it would ruin the experience for me because everybody knows someone like that. So I don't need you. I fill in I fill in my own names as I read the book because I'm like, oh, yeah, this is exactly like so-and-so.
I feel pretty cool right now. I've literally never been on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
I send posts out because I have a Facebook, but I don't interact at all. I just, send posts.
You know what? If you read Jim's book, you'll see what you're missing.
Nothing. You're missing nothing. You have a lot less stress in your life without Facebook.
Let me ask you about this, Jim, because we're going to talk about this on the show here in a little bit in another segment. But a book like this coming out at a time like this, where Facebook is so much in the news and Russian hacking and things like that, is really pretty fortuitous because. What I've been talking a lot about is I think for all the talk that we're having about Facebook pages getting hacked and Russian bots and all that, we're not blaming ourselves for being stupid enough to believe news that we're only seeing on our friends' Facebook feeds. Wow, this story is going to sway how I vote in the election, and I didn't see that reported on CNN or Fox News, but I guess my friend Cindy just scooped them. I guess she just had the story first.
Cindy knew about the pizza parlor.
It's basically it's no different than someone taking an ad out in the newspaper trashing the other opponent. You know what I mean? That's all they're doing. They're just saying, "Hey, vote for me because this other person's a piece of shit."
Yeah.
So it's really not swaying anything. Like they do ads on during the NFL games. There was all these ads during the presidential race, one for Hillary, one for Trump. Bashing each other. So it's no different than being on Facebook.
But if
it didn't, I don't think it swayed an election. Well, everyone knew, Hillary was, the Clintons have been dirty for years, and Trump's, his personal life's a train wreck. So everyone knows that.
But what I'm saying is, if you saw a news story on my Facebook page, even if we're Facebook friends. You see this, right? And it appears to be some legitimate news story, but it's the only place that you're seeing it. I mean, wouldn't you look for another source or just for the fact that it was on my page?
Because it's also on my other friend's Facebook.
Yeah, right. You're right. That's your second source.
That's part of the algorithm, bro.
Yeah, it is that's true.
The algorithm of Facebook is only giving you things you already like. Exactly. And people with information, we know this with books, with any form of information, people only look for things that reaffirm their current beliefs now anyways.
Yeah.
They don't, once it's like, I already thought that anyways, and this guy thinks it too, I'm on board. You're never going to question shit. That's what the average 80% of all the sheep do. They're just, it fits my narrative, so I'm in.
Do you think, Jim, that stand-up comedy has changed in that way? Because, it might be me, but I sense that audiences are more tense than ever in the last few years about what they feel comfortable laughing at.
No, it's not. It has not come to the comedy clubs at all. I always ask the club owners when I get there and the audience, and I do edgy stuff that's out there. It's more of the media just trying to tell everybody what they should do and shouldn't do. You know what I mean? But when you're out there and the people that come to the comedy clubs just want to laugh and they're not buying all that crap. They're like, hey, man, I'm sick of walking around eggshells my whole life everywhere I go, being told what I can say and can't say. So it's almost refreshing for them to hear it in a comedy club.
Yeah, as a comedian, you kind of almost have that license to kill almost when you're up on stage. Don't you always have that to fall back on? Like, hey, look, this is an act. You know what I mean? You can go out there. You could say things and talk about taboo subjects of rape, racism, molestation, and crack jokes about it. But if I were to do that just in an interview and give my opinion, it's like, well, that's you. Whereas a comedian can always have that layer, I feel, of safety to broach topics and get people thinking, but still at the end of the day say, hey, this is entertainment. You're not going to go and arrest John Wick right now, Keanu Reeves, because he killed 30 people for shooting his dog, right? Like, we realize that there's an element of entertainment behind this.
Yeah, just a personal note, that doesn't always work on Twitter. Just be careful.
No.
People will be like, "Whoa, you told a joke on Twitter."
We're going to joke on Twitter. Yeah. And makes a joke on Twitter, he can get in a ton of trouble compared to if it was the same joke on stage.
Yeah. I never thought about that. And
that is weird, though. You think, because you're still a comedian, and I know a lot of comics, you yourself do that.
Yeah.
You guys will test out Adam Hunter all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He's constantly shooting jokes out there to see what sticks, what doesn't. That's like the first kind of like your laboratory to say, oh, let's see if anybody else finds this funny, if it stirs the pot. But like the average person now says, well, that's you saying it. But I'm like, wait a minute, but that's still a comic and he's still a comedian. Like, you can't figure that out. I guess people don't. Huh?
Do you think the problem with that, Jim, is if you think about, you look at an average person's Twitter feed, you're going to have comedians on there, but you're also going to have, politicians or pundits or whatever. Do you think that's the average user's inability to go, wait a second, that tweet is from a comedian, the one right above it is from a congressman, and I'm having a hard time differentiating between the two.
On Twitter you can't unfollow people. Oh, wait, fuck, never mind, you can. You can totally just unfollow people if you don't like what they say.
That was irony. Did you see what Forrest did? That's pretty good.
Yeah,
all right. That's pretty good for the stage. You know what I'm saying, though, Jim? I mean, maybe it's because comedians go into that pool with all those other people, and all of a sudden they sort of get unfairly treated on the same playing field as statesmen.
Yeah, well, and then also, you put it out on Twitter, it's going out to the universe. In a comedy club, you're just playing the people in the club.
Yeah.
So, you can get that thing to go out there and just, catch wind or something like that. If someone retweets it and says, look how offensive this is. Look, at the famous one is Gilbert Gottfried. Remember he made the jokes about the tsunami?
Oh, yeah.
And he lost his Affleck job because of it.
Yeah. Great new documentary out about that, by the way, if you see
that.
Gilbert. Well, it's about Gilbert, but a chunk of it really tells the backstory of that, because he was making those jokes and he didn't. I mean, you're a pitch man, Forrest. You endorse products, Frank. Like, he's the voice of the Aflac duck, but he doesn't realize that like a disproportionate percentage of their customer base are Japanese, and he's making jokes about the tsunami. So kill that deal.
Huh.
Understandable.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to ask you too, Jim, about, since you are coming to Vegas here at Topgolf, for people who remember you from Crank Yankers, there was an interesting Las Vegas connection to Crank Yankers, because I've heard Adam Carolla tell the story about how, because of the legalities of making prank phone calls, you guys could not film. You guys had to film, or had to produce Crank Yankers, do the actual crank calls in Las Vegas, in Nevada, for state law. So you guys were being flown in and out of Las Vegas every time you had to make a crank phone call?
Yeah, we'd set up. Yeah, Nevada and I think New York were the two states where it's a one-party consent. As long as one party knows they're being recorded, you can record. So yeah, we'd go. Jimmy Kimmel grew up in Vegas, and Nevada was the place. It was Jimmy and Adam's show, and he said, well, let's go to Nevada. We'll go to a recording studio, and we'll just hook a phone up to the board and just make prank phone calls. So I get flown to Vegas, first class, stay in the Bellagio to make prank phone calls. I'm like, this is God bless America.
Because New York, the taxes would be too high.
No state tax.
So we came to Vegas, and most of the show was based out of L.A., so that we just fly into Vegas for the weekend. Beautiful. Do calls for like 3 or 4 days and then leave.
What a great gig. What a great gig that was.
It was amazing.
You can read about that in Jim's new book as well. Now, Jim, I also listen to your Metal Midgets radio show weekly on Sirius Radio.
Are you stalking him? Jesus,
Jim? Well, I'm a fan. Jim, I'm a fan of Jim's. Sorry, I don't apologize for being a metalhead. And I know you are too, Jim. So I wanted to ask you the question that I've been asking all my metalhead friends, because I've got tickets for the show in L.A. coming up in April. What do you make of Judas Priest going out on the road without their original guitar player, Glenn Tipton? He's fallen ill, so it's not like they kicked him out of the band or anything like that. But how do you think that affects, if at all, the perception of the current lineup on the road?
They played in New Jersey last night, and my brothers went to the show. They said it was amazing. Glenn Tipton actually came out on the encore and did like 3 songs.
Yeah.
Look, the guy's got Parkinson's, so he thought he could do the tour, and he can't. So they had to get a fill-in for him. So, look, these guys are old, man. So you're going to get to the point where you're going to lose some guys, and it's just, they said the show was still amazing with his fill-in, but yeah, I mean, it's only 2 original guys left. Ian Hill and Rob Halford. But the set list is amazing, and it was a great show. So I'd go see it. I missed it last night, but I'll see it at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to be seeing it in L.A. in April. I'm good with it. That stuff only bothers me, Jim, when there's like completely able-bodied original members who could get together.
Guns N' Roses, CCR, where they basically just have a fight.
Right, they're just
right over money.
Yeah, over money. Yeah, that's exactly.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If it's something they can't help, then I give them a pass on that. All right, Jim's dates, once again, you can go to jimflorentine.com is the website, March 30th and 31st here in Las Vegas. You going to be in town, Frank?
What's the date again?
30th and the 31st of March.
Yes, I'll be here.
All right, we should go down there.
Frank's right around the corner.
Frank's a big fan of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I know Adam. Adam Hunt is a good dude. I mean, Adam's a good dude. I know him.
Yes.
We've a long time. Yeah,
we've done some shows.
I'm a good dude. I don't know.
We've done some shows with Adam and.
Adam, it's funny. Adam, back in the day, he's such a good-looking dude that I would just get his leftovers, which were like 9s on a scale of 1 to 10.
Boy, that's another.
Are we thinking of the same Adam Hunt?
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't talk, he does probably get some girls.
Did he age poorly? Because he's not that handsome anymore.
Boy, let me tell you, you guys.
High school wrestling days.
Aryan-looking, like German, blue-eyed, blonde-haired guy looking. I mean,
you guys.
Sharp jawline.
You guys have great stories of MMA groupies.
I wouldn't mind sharing a cell.
I got band groupie stories, but you read Jim's book, you're going to hear some great stories. Just the forward alone that Jim Norton wrote for you was so debaucherous about comedy groupies. I mean, sometimes comedy groupies can be like, they can be rough, right, Jim? A little rough in the early days?
Yeah, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but whatever. What are you going to do on a Tuesday in Ohio?
That's right. Well, listen, man, thanks for jumping on Skype with us.
Lily
Jim Florentine,
from the bottom of the barrel. That's what you're going to do.
Is worst name for a strip club ever, bottom of the barrel.
Oh!
By the way,
that actually would be a cool-ass bar, dude. I think we just came up with an idea.
Bottom of the barrel.
Bottom of the barrel.
Best bar ever.
By the way, good strip club advice from Jim, too, in the book, if you're wondering how to make your dollar go further. And you can read about that as well. I don't want to give everything away. All right, Jim. Well, listen, Frank and I are going to come out and see you on one of those dates. What about you, Forrest?
Oh, I'm definitely coming out.
You want to come out?
I'm not. Probably not.
Come on, Forrest. Come out with us. Frank is in training for a fight. I mean, you don't. If he's doing it.
Forrest is the most antisocial human being that ever lived.
Yeah, but you like
I'm
us.
literally that fucking lazy.
Come on, you come out with us.
I'll do it.
All right.
And
Jim's funny. He's worth seeing. All right,
I'm going to see this. If you get Forrest to come out, I'll be impressed.
Okay. All right, we're going to come see you, Jim. Thanks for
All
making
right,
time.
I'll get in touch with you next week when I'm in town. Yeah.
Yep. See you then, buddy. Okay.
Thanks, man.
There goes Jim Florentine. Thanks, guys.